Lightning lose 5-2 against the New Jersey Devils, Game 3. Let's talk about it. It was really a 3-2 game, 2 empty netters, but either way, let's get into it. So the Lightning actually start off this game pretty strong, get a lot of shots early on, but obviously the Devils will come back, being as it is their first game in the playoffs at home. You expect a strong push from them. Pretty much the rest of this first period was a Vasilevsky show, and it was really stressful to watch. I think it was Hall who hit the post just inches away from being a 1-0 Devils lead in the first period. I think it was around the 3-minute mark left in the first. So like 20 seconds or so left in the first period, the Devils take a penalty, and that will carry over into the second period. Less than a minute into the first period, it is a sick pass from Cooch to who else other than Killorn. Really hot in the playoffs though so far. Gets the Lightning on the board 1-0. 7:36 left in the period. Vasilevsky makes a huge save. Unfortunately, Lightning could not get it out of the zone. Hall gets the puck. Hall scores. He does Hall things. It is 1-1 with 7:36 left in the first. 2:36, Vasi makes another super big save. You're going to be hearing that a lot. Actually, I probably won't even mention them all, but Vasi, no way is to blame for this loss at all. In fact, Vasi kept the Lightning into this game pretty much throughout the whole thing. Very late into the second period, the Devils take another penalty, which would carry over into the third period, and less than a minute into the third period, Steven Stamkos with a nice shot, gets past Snyder somehow, and it is Lightning with a 2-1 lead. So this is the part of the game where I was not excited to talk about it. Some pretty weak calls, if we're being honest, were called against the Lightning, at least the first one. The Devils had a 5-on-3 situation with about 15 or so, or maybe 16 or so minutes left in the game. The first penalty is the one that I thought was ridiculous that it was called. The second one was a penalty, but the second one wouldn't have been created without the first one being called. It was a pretty bad call. But regardless, the Lightning got scored on the 5-on-3, and that would be Butcher with that goal to make it 2-2. 7 minutes left in the third period, and Hall makes a great move, great pass over to, I'm going to probably mispronounce this, but I think it's Neeson, and Neeson with the one-timer scores on Vasilevsky. Again, nothing he could do about it. Devils lead with 7 minutes left in the period. Now, Sergachev a little bit later, would get called for an elbow on Hischier, and I personally disagree with that elbowing call 1000%, not saying that the Lightning would have scored if that wasn't called, but the guy, Hischier totally shoved his head into his elbow. There's no extension like this. He just had his elbow in a normal bodily position, and he goes to the box for 2 minutes for elbowing. Again, really weak call there, but regardless, the Lightning do kill off that power play. They do end up getting a power play after, could not get set up, could not get organized, do not score, and then the Devils get 2 empty netters to make it 5-2 the final. Okay, guys, so there was 2 situations that I did not go over I did not talk over during the review yesterday, but I wanted to sleep on them, so I got all of my bias out of the situation. The first situation is the Hedman stick in the groin area of Hischier. I don't like it. I don't think he should have done it. I think he probably just got lost in the heat of the moment and saw an opportunity to do it real quick, did it. I think there's probably a reason he did it, but I still don't think he should have done it. Kind of wish he didn't do it, but hopefully he'll apologize maybe after the series is over or something, but either way, that's my opinion on that. At first, I wasn't so sure he hit him so hard, but I kind of think he hit him a little bit there. Second situation is I want to talk about the developing, maybe a little bit of a rivalry between Boyle and Sergachev. At the very end of the game, there was a big scrum of all the players on the ice. Sergachev came over into the scrum to protect some of his teammates, and Boyle looked at him, saw him, and was like, "You're the guy who elbowed my teammate, I'm getting you." Sergachev was actually surprisingly able to knock Boyle down, but they definitely did not like each other at the very end of the game. They both got sent out of the game with less than 20 seconds or so left, and that'll be interesting to see how that develops, if they'll fight in Game 4, or if they'll just do some behind-the-scenes stuff that we might not even see, but that'll be really interesting to see. Boyle actually used to play with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he's actually a really well-liked guy around the Tampa Bay area, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But anyways, I just want to talk about those two things quickly because I didn't get to mention them yesterday because I didn't want to have any super big bias on either side, so I wanted to sleep on it. Honestly, Lightning didn't play a terrible game. I'm not upset with the play overall. I think just one of those games. Devils are the first game at home in their playoffs, and you know the crowd's into it. You know their team's going to put up a big performance. If that's the best performance they have, then I think the Lightning will have a pretty good run here going forward. But either way, GG Devils moving forward. I think you have a lot to take out of this, Devils fans. If you're watching this, congrats. Your team did really well. The calls went your way sometimes, which happens in games. It happens for the Lightning sometimes, so I know that's how it goes. And congrats, your team did really good. But either way, Lightning lose this game 5-2. It is now a 2-1 series, a best of 7. Next game will also be played in New Jersey in 2 days' time, or I guess when you're seeing this tomorrow. And we'll hope for a big comeback from the Lightning, but you never know. It's playoff hockey. So I will see you guys in the next episode. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to leave a rating on the video. If you're also new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow this channel, you know, Tampa Bay Lightning fans especially. But, well, I'll talk about all the teams as well when we play them. So don't feel left out if you're not specifically a Tampa Bay fan. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next episode.